That's right. Okay, it says preparing to live stream. Talk to me nice, YouTube.
They should all know by now. 6 o'clock means like 6:15, 6:20.
Oh, yeah, CPT.
CPT.
The best
way it is.
You're right. They still gonna talk their shit. You know how it go.
Absolutely.
Y'all niggas late.
Let me turn this fan off.
Right. Have we had all four of us together for the year?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not so far.
All right, we live. What up, people? What up?
What's the vibes?
Good? Part of not lateness, but you know the vibes already. We got a few people in the chat off the rip. Jared was good. Warren was good. UTHHF. A lot of I don't know how to pronounce that. Was good.
Pardon the lateness. Appreciate the greatness, man.
You already know. Curtis Black was good. Mel was good. We in the building.
What's the vibes?
Yeah.
On the check-in.
Warren,
hit that like button on the pull-up, y'all. Y'all know how the algorithm give it up.
Keep driving, putting out great content. Appreciate that, Warren, 100%. That's what we try to do, put out the content. And for real, y'all pull up. If y'all, you know what I mean? Tell your friends who are hip-hop heads to subscribe to this page or just text them the link, email them the link, send them a link on Facebook, however you communicate with your friends.
I know the vibes.
Send them this page. Let them tap in with us.
Send them the YouTube link. And also send them our Twitter link. Follow us on Twitter. We're trying to get more active on Twitter.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I currently have a tweet. Me personally, I got a tweet that's kind of going up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nas fans coming out for
Mike 100.
Nas content on Twitter.
Basketball season, tapping the sin shit.
All right. Mike 100, I see you, boy. Adriel agreeing what it is.
As always.
We got some good vets in the building. We got some good vets in the building.
Some new faces. Jim Junkie. Traumatic. What up? Some faces we haven't really seen before. Good to see new people pulling in.
Happy MLK Day too, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Martin Luther King Day.
Everybody off today. Salute to the God. We're gonna first of all, we're gonna set the tone. Really and truly, happy Martin Luther King Day. You know what I mean? But 2 thumbs down to that statue in Boston. I don't know what the fuck they was trying to do. Maybe somebody from Boston's in the chat can explain this to me.
They spent what?
2 thumbs down.
10 mil on that shit?
Talk to us, people.
10 mil for 2 hands holding the meat, depending on what angle you look at it from.
Nasty word,
what the
man.
Fuck?
Niggas comparing it to the what's that shit? The baby boy stranglehold with Melvin.
Come on, bro.
But we know how Boston get down. I don't know if there's anybody from Boston in the chat right now. But Boston is like the most racist city, at least in the upper, the upper East Coast. You know what I mean? Like if not in the whole country.
They saying Utah's up there on the
they might have, you know what I mean? They might have done that shit on purpose or some shit.
That shit is crazy. How y'all spent y'all King Day? Is it just a holiday for y'all? Did y'all pay homage to the legend himself, Martin Luther King, or was it just a Monday to be off from work? Let us know in the chat. You know what I mean? Real talk, because sometimes things start losing its meaning. It becomes a commercial holiday. Although to be fair, I already see Valentine's Day paraphernalia in these stores, but I don't see no Black History things. I don't see no King Day paraphernalia in these CVS's and these Walgreens. What's going on? And then they're gonna sell us a whole bunch of shit for Juneteenth that's black, red, and green. Like I got a big problem with how we treat Martin Luther King Day. This needs it got to be more than party flyers.
It's heinous. It's heinous, bro.
Real shit. And I think I remember when I came on your podcast, John, and we was talking about this. I've been saying for the longest, like this whole putting the cultures together and like recognizing like Black culture and Black holidays and it's always a lose-lose, because either you don't recognize it and you're like, oh, there go the United States being mad racist again, right? If you don't recognize it. But then when you do recognize it, it becomes like a completely capitalist thing and completely loses its meaning anyway. So either way, we're gonna lose. You know what I mean?
I seen a flyer. It was MLK with the crown holding 2 bottles of Casamigos, bro. I was like, it's nasty in these streets.
Bro, we lived long enough to see Martin Luther King become a party flyer meme. How crazy is that, bro?
Hurt my heart, bro.
That's crazy.
Mm.
That's really crazy. You know what I mean? But we're not a political podcast. We're not gonna get too heavy into that. Y'all know where we stand. If y'all been following the Rap Roundtable for a few years now, y'all know where we at with everything. But more important,
you gotta treat every day like MLK did.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's how you should live your life.
Of course, and you don't got to be woke. Woke has become homogenized. You just got to be aware. If you know what's going on, you got knowledge yourself. You're doing right out here, hands down.
Yes, sir.
But since it's a rap song, you mentioned Twitter, right?
Yeah, what's up?
You mentioned your Twitter page. Yeah, man, you got a tweet that's going up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come clean. I'm gonna set the tone right now. I didn't know this song existed myself. You posted something on your Twitter page, and I heard it. I was like, "Oh, this is fire." What is the backstory of it? I don't want to spoil it. I want you to tell the whole story. Talk to us.
I don't know what the backstory is, but as we all probably well know, Nas has a shit ton of unreleased material just sitting in the vault somewhere. Every 10, 20 years, he wants to put out a lost tapes and unearth some of this vaulted material. But I mean, I'll go, and this is not a hot take in the least. Nas easily has the best vaulted discography, the best unreleased lost tapes discography out there out of any rapper, right? Mobb Deep is probably a good second. I know Hove he's got a pretty decent unreleased or B-side catalog, but the amount of just classics and gems and fucking heat rocks that Nas just has, either it's unreleased or it wound up on some weird niche project, or on a movie soundtrack or something like that.
Right.
It goes on for days, man. But the joint that I posted on Twitter, it was just on a whim because like me and Al was talking about it. I think he had seen an Instagram post, and it was like one of those quick 15-second reels or whatever. I think it was posted by QB, the QBNYC platform. Shouts to them. I follow them heavy because I love Queen's music all day every day.
Shout out to QB.
I feel like that's your favorite borough for rap, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm repping
Brooklyn will be a close second
right now, but that Queens grittiness, dirtiness, you know what I mean, scuffed up Tim music. You know what I mean? It just got that extra layer of grit to it. He posted that reel. Al heard it, my boy Al heard it, and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "That's Taking the Blood Part 2. What you mean?" You know what I mean? Like, me and him go way back. I'm thinking that he knows what I know and I know what he knows. You know what I mean? And he was like, "What the fuck is that? What are you talking about?" So I played it for him, and he was just like in awe. He was like wowed out, like eyes wide open. And y'all know Al. Like when Al gets excited,
that's Al.
When Al gets excited and you got a couple drinks in him, he's
like, "Yo, he's hectic.
Shit,
he's hectic.
I can't believe this. Whoa, yo, this shit is crazy."
You might have to give him a few feet because the hands start flying. You might get grabbed.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's whiter, the wingspan or the brim on his hat. One of the two. Either way, you gotta give him some space, man.
Al, man.
Oh man. But yeah, that's my dog, man. That's my brother since second grade, man. I love him.
Big shout out to Al.
Yeah, but so it was just on it's been on my head, the pause on my brain the past couple of days, and so on the whim I was like, "Yo, I wonder how many people on Twitter know about this shit." So I just posted it with an abridged version of that story, but I posted the full song, you know what I mean? Downloaded it real quick off of YouTube and threw it up. And yeah, apparently a lot of people on Twitter didn't really know about this one either. Some of them say that they heard it way back in the day and forgot about it. And as far as I know, because somebody asked "Yo, where's this from? Where is it? Where does it live? You know what I mean? On what project?" And as far as I know, the version that I posted is the only version that exists out there on the internet. And it's from an old Who Kid mixtape And apparently he's the only one that must have had that exclusive because, back in the day, like, sometimes it'd be Clues, sometimes it'd be Who Kid, sometimes it'd be Rated R, but like you would hear songs on K-Slay, but you would hear songs on multiple mixtapes sometimes, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for like 20, 25 years, at least 20 years, like on the internet, this shit has been circulating, and the only version that I know that exists is this Who Kid version where Who Kid all up, he's doing the DJ ad libs and the shout outs and all that. But yeah, man, shouts to Nas taking in Blood Part 2. Shouts to Who Kid, who apparently had this exclusive way back in the day and had it on a tape, and it's been circulating the internets for a long ass time. And shouts to the people who's discovering it today from my tweet.
Facts. Michael Brown in the chat said that he didn't even hear about it either. So apparently you're unfolding a relic for people to tap into.
Listen, man, follow me on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter.
It's a different thing because you got to remember, like, we kind of more like from the era where you kind of have to dig for the tunes. We from the LimeWire era, all that fuck up your computer to get music era. You know what I'm saying? Like today, everything's pretty much at your whims on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. So you don't really dig in the crates. It was like maybe 10 years ago since Sid made me like a Lost Nas kind of mix. You know what I'm saying? That shit was like 3 albums deep. So
it was 3 whole CDs, bro.
Yeah, it was packed. And
that's crazy.
It wasn't shit that was out on Lost Tapes. It wasn't shit that was out on like
real shit.
On soundtracks and shit. It was just like
Star Wars,
vaulted stuff.
Taken in Blood 2. It was a lot of shit that I feel like a lot of people, if they didn't hear Taken in Blood 2, I'm pretty sure they didn't hear a lot of shit from those 3 tapes then. So
facts.
All right, bro. And Dini, shout out to you, bro. We haven't seen you in a bit. You missed the last show. You haven't been feeling well, so it's good to have the homie Dini back on deck with the Rap Roundtable. You were definitely missed on 62, and now we don't have Mace. It's like right now, it's like this is like what NBA preseason for the Rap Roundtable, January. Everybody trying to get things ready, get some load management before we fully lock in. You know what I mean? That's pretty dope. You know what I mean? But for me, it's ill because you mentioned LimeWire. I remember like to go to Jay-Z, like when I first heard Ignorant shit. It was kind of the same way. Like I had to download the shit on LimeWire, one of my first PCs back at the crib, completely fried it. But I remember, and the same DJ who was doing his drops on Ignorant shit was doing the drops on the joint that Sincere posted today. So it really gave me nostalgic vibes. I was like, oh shit, another relic or a song that didn't make an album or mixtape somehow, same DJ, same knock your socks off, like, yo, this is probably more fire than the original shit. Like, god damn, this is fire. You know what I mean? Like, I miss that because internet culture, leak culture has kind of gotten in the way of finding a song that nobody knows about because everybody wants to be that guy that they'll just leak a record. They want to be known as the person who knows the person that knows the person, so they'll leak the record. So it's dope to have for Sin to basically dig in the craze. If this was a sound clash, Sincere would have won the sound clash with that shit because nobody, at least half the crowd, would not have heard that song and they would have went crazy for it. That's kind of ill to me. And the song is fire. If you haven't heard it, go to Sincere's Twitter page. It's up there right now. Hopefully he pins it so niggas can find that shit and fuck
beats,
with it,
man. Tap in.
He makes beats.
I just posted the link in the chat. It's not an active link, so y'all have to copy and paste it. But
copy.
Yeah.
Makes you think how many niggas you think ain't hear something like the S. Carter collection or something like that,
Right.
Like them good old tapes that we used to cherish. It's just a different time, I guess.
There's a bunch of 25-year-olds that have no clue about the S. Carter collection. All they know is that he's Beyonce's husband. You know what I mean? They don't know about mixtape Hove. You know what I mean? And speaking of Hove, this DJ made a comment.
God damn it.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on
again.
Yeah, they got a job doing it.
Oh, damn it, man.
That adjustment.
We gonna stay with it. Let me see what's going on. Oh, I think it's because I opened it. Can you hear me still?
Yeah,
I can hear you
beautifully.
All right, so we gonna keep going until it corrects.
Oh, you good now though? You good now?
I mean,
what'd you close?
I ain't worried about it.
You close something?
Nah, I think it's the internet.
All right, bet. Real quick though, Adriel Green on the super chat. He said check out Check out Nas Library of a Legend if it's still on the internet. See, that's the thing, if it's still on the internet. It has like 10 CDs worth of unreleased material, freestyles, feature, soundtrack songs. So quick story before we move on, and I'll make this as quick as possible. I had the Library of a Legend along with like all types of other, if y'all remember the either the blog era or the message board era,
discussion
where
groups,
yeah, motherfuckers would throw up like all these media link and media fire links to all types of like unreleased shit. I had unreleased Biggie, unreleased Nas, unreleased Wu shit. I had the fucking I had ripped audio from those St. Ives commercials. I had all that shit. Like my catalog was crazy on MP3. And then one day my laptop died, and then like a week later the external hard drive that I had everything backed up on was stolen.
No,
within a week, bro.
They Ryan Leslie'd you, bro.
So when the laptop died, I was like, oh, all right, well, I mean, I might have to save up to get a brand new laptop, whatever. Right. I'll thug it out for a little bit. But then my external hard drive got swiped too. So like all that shit that I had amassed over the years from all these message boards and underground links and whatnot, lost it, bro.
I already know that
today.
Nightmare.
None of that shit exists anymore, bro.
That wouldn't have been a safe time to be around you, bro. I already
know.
I already know.
No.
Sim was on tight mode.
No. I was on go time, like bro. Don't talk to me, bro.
So I'm gonna try to do this thing where I share my screen and shit. I'm gonna try to get like send a little bit, you know what I mean, and see if I can pull that off. Share screen, you know what I mean. So DJ Amadeus, is that his name?
Yeah, shout out to DJ Amadeus, Shea 45.
You know what I mean? He said something about Jay-Z that was very riveting, and I feel like we should talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna press play on this. Y'all can see it. Let me know when y'all ready. You know what I'm saying? All right, the chat is on deck. This is what he had to say about Jay-Z. So, and I know the chat's gonna eat this up.
It's not sharing the audio, I don't think.
Nah.
I think this is
IG funny like that though.
Oh.
But I think also
I'm fucking up again.
In the share settings, I think there's something you have to click to share audio.
I mean, at least the subbies are there. You just
the closed captioning is there. Your job, you good? Because your screen is tweaking.
I think there's a conflict with the internet when I open it. So I think that's what the problem is. Now, being that the screen share, so I realize that now. So basically, when I open the internet with this new terrible update by Zoom, it interferes with the Zoom stream. So that's what it is. So Zoom, update the update, because this is not going to work for me. If I can't go on the internet and share my screen without my shit glitching out like I'm in the Matrix, this is a problem. So y'all couldn't hear the audio, right?
No. I'm trying to find the video now, maybe.
Because I want the fans. I want the fans to hear it through the.
Yeah, like, can we just do it from the phone?
Reason why. If you like
I can hear it. Perfect.
Five with your 2 cents. Let me know in the comment section below.
Everybody
you ever participated in American literature? The hardest part of writing, poetry, an essay, rap lyrics, whatever it is your first line. Your first line dictates the flow and the cadence of how this piece of work is going to come out. If you're consistently taking these from other people, how can we accurately judge you as a writer? We can't. And it's not Biggie. What about Slick Rick, Big L, Ice-T, LL Cool J? The list goes on and on and on. We cannot accurately, for this particular reason, I cannot accurately judge you as a lyricist. So for me, he's not top 5. And then when you run out of shit to say, you quote somebody else.
He's talking about Jay-Z, by the way. I don't think it came through.
Jay-Z is not top 5. Jay-Z is not top 5 lyricists of all time. Jay-Z is not top 5 lyricists of all time.
Yeah.
And there's one simple reason why.
So basically, he said Jay-Z is not top 5 lyricists of all time because, and it just, I mean, at the end of the day, it just goes back to that same narrative of he bites too many bars, which has been around for a really long time, but he kind of spins it in a way where he tries to like tie it to more like to for an academic reason. Like if you're a writer, if you're a serious writer, if you're a poet, if you're this or that, you're an essayist, then the first line of your writing dictates how effective your writing is going to be, or how impactful it's going to be. And so he goes on to basically say, if Jay-Z is taking too many bars from Biggie or LL Cool J or Ice-T or whatever, if he's borrowing too much material, then how can we really rate him or place him in a top 5 position because of that? So, I mean, but at the end of the day, it's just the same. He bites too many. He's a biter, not a writer, or whatever.
It's tough for me because I like a good spirited debate. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy that shit. You want to talk about Nas and Jay, Nas or Hove against any one of your favorites? I'm always going to be here for that, especially if it's about the music, their careers, their impact, 100%. What I'm tired of, and I'm not going to entertain it too much in 2023, are these lazy rhetorics that are attached to Jay-Z's name. Like the Beyonce thing that Master Student said when we talked about it on 62. Yeah. Now it's the whole, he's not top 5 because he's using other people's lyrics. And it's like, you know what? There's a whole video out there. I'm not one of these blind Hovengers that don't act like shit don't happen. Like yes, there's plenty of lyrics that Jay took from other rappers. But what we're not going to do in the same breath is act as if this man doesn't have a plethora of bars that are his own. And I feel like when you use that rhetoric of different bars from this person and that person, you're automatically acting as if this man don't have bars. He doesn't have legendary bars. And even if you want to say Job, you're a whole fan. You can't say that. I'm not going to be one of these guys who automatically gets on the camera and becomes a turncoat and stops liking Jay-Z because it's good for business. I love Hove. That's my guy, right? And I also heard plenty of rappers over various eras who have quoted Jay-Z lyrics. Like the person who took the time to splice together all of the bars that Jay-Z took, he needs to now go and put together at least a 30-minute video of other rappers, active or otherwise, who have used his bars. So to use that as a scale is, to me, it's lazy commentary. Shout out to that DJ Amadeus. Cool. Maybe he did it to spawn up conversations like the one we're having right now. But overall, there's a lot of people who think that way. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's lazy rhetoric, because all you're doing is using shit to chop an artist down. You're not having a real conversation. You don't like Jay-Z, and I respect anyone in 2023. Just tell me you don't like him. And then we don't have to have a further conversation. Don't say he took this person's lyrics. Hov got plenty of bars that are his. There's 100, 200, 300 songs of all his bars. God did was just 75 bars of his, or 73, pardon me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I could point out plenty of times. There's rappers right now who some of your favorite underground acts who have a Hov bar in almost every verse.
Goldie James.
Stove. I love Stove, but like every other song is a Hov quote.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mock Hami.
Mock Hami, yes,
Come
absolutely.
On. There's plenty of guys who quote
that,
Jay-Z. And
that was going to be my point.
Oh, well, let me not step on it. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just going to reiterate what you just said. That was going to be my point. That's, you know what I mean? Like, you can't simultaneously laud these, you know, sort of up and coming or newly emerging underground MCs like Mac Hami, like Boldy James, you know, Rome Streets. I'm pretty sure I've heard, like, you know, a Rome line or two or word or two that was borrowed from Hov, possibly, if I'm remembering correctly. Right. But yeah, I mean, you can't laud them and then say, yo, but Jay-Z, like, he was biting Ice-T and he was biting Biggie and he was biting like whoever, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're against like on a fundamental level, if you're against biting anyway, but biting lines, biting lyrics, biting hooks, biting whatever, biting styles, if you're against it, you got to be against it like across the board. You can't pick and choose and cherry pick when it's you know,
it's plausible.
Yeah, you know what I mean? When it works in certain situations and when it doesn't work for other people in other situations. That's, you know, it doesn't work that way.
Also, I'll say this, man. If I die today, y'all are more than welcome to use anything I said that was popping to the media, bro. Keep the name alive, my guys. Like, he was Jay's man. You know what I'm saying? It's not like these guys didn't know each other. It's like there's some guy, he just liked his music in the cut. Like, this is his brother. Like, he was the guy who kind of backed him up when he was on his way emerging into the game. Right. So what other way? And think about it. If Hov didn't do that, a lot of Biggie shit lived on through Hov. You know what I'm saying? And we all know their Biggie line. So it's not like we say, oh, you heard that new Jay-Z line? You said he bit this shit from Big. That means you know it's a Big line. That means listening to that Jay is making you think of Big. I think if nothing else, that's beautiful. God forbid if anything happened to Styles P. I want Jada to do that. I want him to drop some lines of the music and to keep the shit alive. Like we've been going through this for so many years, bro. Like going through the same rhetoric. He used so many of his lines like it wasn't intentional. Like Hov didn't say, you know what, let me throw this in there. Because it's not only is it an amazing line, it's an amazing line from an amazing artist who just happens to be one of my bros. Like this has been going on for too long, man. This whole Jay biting line shit gotta stop, bro. Right. Especially if the line is from your mans.
Yeah.
No, but let's be clear, because people are gonna say it's not just Biggie. And they'll be 100% right. It's not just Big, right? But either way, as much as you want to say it's not just Big, y'all, especially I'm looking at y'all in the chat right now because y'all do that and y'all get on us at the Rap Roundtable about being biased, right? The chat, y'all gotta not be biased as well, because I'm reading some of your comments. A lot of rappers, popular too, not just the underground niggas, fight Jay-Z. Shit, Regular. Jim Jones in the middle of beefing with Hov was quoting his lyrics in his bars. So what are we talking about? And then the Ice-T thing, and this is the thing, I've been waiting for y'all for about a good month with that Ice-T thing, because I knew it was gonna come eventually. Ice-T, and this is what I get tired of the culture. And Ice-T, bro, you're an actor now. You're on SVU. You haven't been a rapper since I was a child, right? You're an actor. You talk about Jay-Z didn't shout you out, right? You sold him the fucking song. If you sell a nigga the song, why do you need a shout out? You didn't give it to him. You didn't say, here, bro. He didn't steal it from you. You sold him the record. So why would he have to shout you out? Why are you painting the narrative that, I can't believe he didn't shout me out after I sold him the song? The fuck you gotta, you know how many songs get bought and sold in rap and niggas would never know? That's part of the business. And a lot of y'all here be running around on the internet not knowing how the business of hip-hop and music overall, with reference vocals, songs getting sold, etc. Y'all don't know how it works, and y'all getting y'all feelings about shit and confused biting with song stealing and reference vocals. And that shit is lazy. It's lazy. He sold the record. He got paid for it. He does not deserve a shout out. Bye. Leah, bye. I don't got time for you and your fucking cats today. Y'all been getting me real tight with that.
Shout out to J Lex podcast, man. J Lex said, well said, y'all. If people just want to hate on the GOAT.
I ain't getting me tight. Y'all be wanting us to be accountable and unbiased, but y'all be wild biased too. If we, as a family, we got to be 100, right?
Leah here for all the smoke.
Yo, anytime we say anything that's not glowing about anybody, now all of a sudden is disrespect.
Or anything that's extra positive about Hov, man.
No, that's what I'm saying, according to Leah.
And that's a fact. 99 Problems not even that dope of a song anyway. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I never loved it.
Kurt Black, what up? Mad Max, what up?
Getting me tight, bro.
Miss LB, what up?
Yo, yeah, what up? A while back, Hudson asked if I had heard there's an unreleased Kendrick song called "I'm Better." I think so. If it's the one that I just listened to an unreleased Kendrick song this morning. I don't.
Which one?
Quite remember the name of it. Let me go back and. No, the one I listened to was called "Falsehood," and I'm probably gonna throw that up on Twitter too, since people seem to like when I, just throw up like songs and videos and whatever.
Send us the key to the vault, man.
I'll probably throw that up tomorrow or something. The next couple.
I'm telling you, when we have a sound clash, bro, I'm not offering no suggestions. I'm just showing up. Sincere got everything under control with that. You know what I mean? Even when they tried to cheat us in the verses last year, but it's all good. We got everything under control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mace couldn't make it today, man. He had a You know what I mean? He had a scheduling conflict. So
yeah, and be clear. If you don't think Hov is a top 5 lyricist, I'm 100% okay with that. What I'm not okay with is lazy rhetoric debates. Like, we're not talking about that. Let's talk about his catalog. Let's talk about other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's such a small thing
is...
to take him out of the discussion for that small thing, though. You know what I'm saying? The one line thing. That's how you start. Like every track that's fire started with an amazing line. Like,
no, but what I don't appreciate is repackaging the same narrative and the same rhetoric as if it's something new that they just like had an epiphany, woke up this morning like, yo, like I just had this thought. You know what I mean? Like
we share with the
masses. It's the same thought that everybody's had for like decades already, and it was lazy then, it's lazy now.
Just say, that's why I said, if you don't like him, just say that. And Miss LB, at what point in my rant just now did you hear me say Leah May don't agree with me, so I'm gonna yell at her? I keep telling y'all, like, if you're gonna do that, actively listen before you accuse me of shit that I didn't say. Like, that's not okay. I don't need y'all to agree with me. We passed that. I feel like we've been past that for the last 6, 7, 8 months. It's not about agreeing, it's about holding people accountable. Y'all want us to be accountable? I'm asking y'all to do the same thing. That's it. Y'all want us to be unbiased? Y'all too have to be unbiased. In that unbiasedness, we have real conversations and real rhetoric. Not, all right, I don't like this guy. I don't want to talk about him. He's a biter. That's it. Like Nas the GOAT just said, boom, he's a top 3 artist, I think it is, but not a top 5 lyricist. I can respect that because lyricism is a whole other conversation. And that's what we need to get into. Real rhetoric, not about agreeing. When we was at the lunch table, who the fuck agreed? What are we talking about?
Niggas argue till the sun went up and down, bro.
Come on, bro. I argue with my homies on the pod to this day. We're never gonna always agree. It's not important. But don't ever be in the chat saying, "Oh, you hollering at people because they don't agree." That's not accurate. My actions did not. I said we need to be accountable and unbiased. How is that agreeing, Miss LB? Come on now.
And as he stated, man, if Hov's not in your top 5 lyricists, it is what it is. But if he's not in your top 5 artists, I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking at you sideways,
Curtis, let's keep it a buck. Like, Jay smoked that MOP record for Long Blades. He smoked that shit. Whether he used Big's lines or not, he smoked it. He smoked it.
This shit's more memorable than the MOP shit, which is crazy because they went in too. But Hov is Hov.
I just feel like this blatant, like, what's that? Revisionist history constantly with this man's name. In real time, he was really doing that. In real time, he did use Biggie's lyrics. He did lose points for that. He lost points every time he used somebody's lyrics. I would never qualify using somebody's lyrics, okay? It's hard in hip-hop, especially the time that we come from, to qualify that. Even if you knew whose bars they were and he wasn't trying to pass them off as his own, you still lose points for that because biting is biting. We know that, right? But let's not act like he didn't deliver in his prime either. That's really the gist of the conversation when it comes to being unbiased about this conversation.
Not a verse, honestly, a bar.
I feel like over time, because this narrative has lived on for so long and has like it's made the rounds like a fucking what's that called, like a chain letter. It just keeps getting passed around and around and around, so it comes right back to you again.
Right.
It's been passed around for so long that it's so fresh in everybody's memories. It's kind of like it's burying shit like the B-sides and the freestyle, like the Hot 97 freestyles, the radio freestyles, the shits he would have for fucking mixtapes, the Rockefeller freestyles. Like, I feel like because those are not as fresh, and maybe on my Twitter I should start posting some of those too, because like I really feel like people they too quickly forget how ill of a lyricist Jay was because of all of these other things that are more prevalent, that are more, more seen currently. You know what I mean? Again, back to what Jarv said, being Beyonce's husband and being a billionaire and using Biggie's lyrics. These are things that are constantly being regurgitated all around social media, but like the gems of barsmanship and lyricism from like freestyles and underground joints and B-sides and features, those don't get passed around as much. Those don't get shared as much. So people like just start forgetting. We got to start reminding people like, yo, like Jay was that dude, like lyrically.
You know,
Not
we
just,
need a call-in
song
show, bro.
structure, not just hits, not just clubs, not just parties, not just hook, but bars, man. That man had bars. Stop lying. Stop fronting.
We need a call-in show, bro. And that shit should be called like, how is Jay not the GOAT? And just have people call and explain. Nah, like I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he could not. Let's be clear, he could not be the GOAT because you don't want people to cut this and make it seem like we're campaigning for him to be the GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Let me clarify. Let me clarify. In the sense of what box has not been checked, you know, what skill has not been displayed, what the embodiment of hip hop is, you know what I'm saying? We talk this money shit, this rap shit, this style shit, this what has he not done, bro? Like no one has checked off more boxes. And that's not saying that, like I'm whole vengeance. I'm saying like I would love to have a real discussion. If Amadeus, if that's gonna be his debate and he's already lost. You know what I'm saying? If he comes up here with that.
You might want him on the show just to have this conversation.
I don't know if I'm capable of having that conversation without getting tight. Because he's real adamant about that. And that's really what got me tight. It was like, yo.
I would love that. In fact, I'm gonna send a shout out to him and tell him to fuck up.
We'll just We'll just preface it like, yo, this is all...
We was in person with him. If I wish we knew this in person, I'd love to have this conversation with him. But even better, you can have it on the Rap Roundtable. Because I mean, anyone in the chat, if y'all feel a way about it, I would just love to hear it. Because like even LeBron's not my GOAT.
Right.
But when he clears this 38K plus shit that he's doing, he's gonna have a better discussion. You get what I'm saying for it than he had without it. And I just want to have that discussion. I really want to hear people's. Oh, shout out to Adriel Green. $5 super chat. Jay is a top tier lyricist. Not gonna lie, I think Jay was a better lyricist than Big, but Big was more versatile artist while they both were active. That's respectable. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a hot take.
It's respectable.
I
career was so short.
I wouldn't argue vehemently. I wouldn't push back on that vehemently. And Big, you know, the story is that Big. The story goes that Big himself was quoted as saying, like in conversation, that he felt Jay was better than him. But you know, some dudes just, you know, they be on the humble shit sometimes.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like there's the versatility aspect of it, but there's just something about how Big approached the record, how he attacked a record, how and you know, and this is something that like they can't really control, like one way or another, either one of them. But Big's voice over Jay's voice. But if we're talking about lyricism, barsmanship, you know what I mean? When I hear something like The Eagles,
right,
or when I hear something like Where I'm From, or when I hear something like there's some Jay joints that like lyrically, I'd put him up against any Biggie joint and be like, oh.
Well, here's the thing. I think that, let's say, you know, history isn't what it is. Biggie Smalls in an alternate timeline or some multiverse, Rap Roundtable multiverse conversation. Biggie Smalls never loses his life, right? Just for the sake of this conversation. I think that he would have been even nicer. We saw a progression of what Jay was from 96 through his first retirement in 03, what he became and how the sound of rap changed. Now imagine putting Biggie's skill set with the Neptunes and Timberland, and then Just Blaze and
Biggie
Kanye.
Over Timberland would have been.
Oh my God! That's why I'm like, I'm a Jay fan, but I got a hard time thinking that Big wouldn't have been like really like the final boss of this whole shit.
Finding all types of pockets in the
beats.
Exactly.
Because Big used to lean on beats and find different pockets before pocket work was even really a thing that people got into. He was one of the first to really dominate the pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Then Hov became the pocket god. So
by the way, it's like I feel like he would have been ahead of Jay. I think him and Jay would have been really sparring partners. You know what I mean? They would have been chasing each other to see who was the nicest, because in the midst of Hov becoming, you know, a commercial rapper, right? And I think the commercialization of S. Carter really needs to be a conversation, like a narrative that needs to be broken down, because in the commercialization of his career, people really forgot that from volume one, let's say Reasonable and volume one, Hov was a rapidy rap nigga. He wasn't a commercial rapper. He had commercial songs, but he was a rapidy rap nigga.
Yeah.
It was about the bars.
He just knew how to appeal to the ladies, bro.
Right. He could make a radio record, but if you go to listen to Reasonable, you listen to volume one, it's a lot of high level rapping on that. Yeah. We talked about it on this show maybe a year ago about Reasonable Doubt being maybe over niggas' heads. That's why they really couldn't get with it until they had to go back after getting familiar with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Again, we try to be as honest on this show as possible. It's easy to just say this dude can FOH and whatever the case may be, but that man was nice. Like someone was just talking about it. The evils as a conversation to be had. You know what I'm saying? Cough up a lung where I'm from, bro. Like these records exist. And when he felt like getting on his bar shit, even throughout every album, you go through all his albums, bro. There's always a couple of records where he's just rapping and he's trying different techniques, different breathing patterns, different pockets to attack, different rhyme schemes. You know what I'm saying? Like, again,
exercise.
I remember, all right. You know what I'm saying? Go back to Reasonable, listen to how he changed. Like, he wasn't, each song was slightly different from the next song. It wasn't like he was just copying and pasting his flow song by song by song by song. He was trying different shit. Volume one, you know, it could have been a little bit better. I made the argument a while ago that if he swaps volume one with Reasonable, I think the narrative of his career is completely different. You know what I mean? Volume two, to me, I've been on record saying like that's not my kind of Jay-Z album. There's high highs on there, but there's a lot of skips. And I felt like once he went viral, before viral was a thing, it changed the conversation about his career, the Sonics, and then by around 2000, 2001, the biting happens. People are getting tired of his success. The bottle popping, the tag popping, the Armadale popping, all of that shit. And they got tired of him, bro. And I feel like until we can be honest about the fact that we got tired of him winning all the fucking time, and that's where a lot of the vitriol comes from, we can't be honest about him as a rapper. That's my opinion, at least.
And even in his biggest L was still the God afterward. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, that shit with Nas would have locked a lot of dudes off the map. Hov just came back stronger. So it's just it's real easy to hate the cool nigga. Like I always say, man, the cool nigga just he touches hearts, man.
I don't even know if it's just the cool nigga. I think it's the fact that he was cool and he wasn't giving us any breaks. How many rappers in that time was rapping yearly? At least other artists would drop and then they would go away for a second and then they would come back. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy wouldn't give people a chance. And niggas got
super chats.
Go ahead, bro,
Nas the GOAT. Jay made my top 3 after his run from 96 to 03. But after that, he wasn't the same after his retirement. I never went hard with bars after 97.
Yeah, he corrected it on another super chat right below that.
Copy. I meant he never went hard after 97.
I could agree with that. To me, Jay-Z has segments of his career. We have, you know, everything that leads up to after volume one. Then we have what happens with volume two, sells 5 million. He understands the business of
greatest tour, maybe.
Right. Then you have, let's say, volume 2, volume 3, Dynasty. Then you have Blueprint 2, Black Album. These are all different sections of his career, sonically,
different sounds.
The vocalization of how he rhymed, the octave he rapped at, all different. You know what I mean? To me, I agree with Nas the GOAT. I always say, like, once he retired in 03, the Jay-Z we got in 06, even when he did his feature run, which was fire, but from what was it? What's the name of the album? Kingdom Come?
Yeah.
It was bad, bro.
Yeah.
I tried to sell it. When I mentioned I tried to sell Kingdom Come. I did a bad job of it, but I tried to sell it.
Best work.
American Gangster is really good, but nothing he dropped post-retirement stands up to what he did pre-retirement. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. Here's how I think about it. And I've said this in the past, but you know, we have a lot of new listeners and subscribers, so it bears repeating. Oftentimes I think of MCs, rappers, lyricists, whatever, as painters because they paint pictures with their words.
Yes.
And when you think of a painter, like there's different styles of painting. There's certain because I seen somebody say something about they thought Big Pun was better than Biggie. And so like it always makes me think of like different artists, different painters have different styles of brushstrokes. Also certain painters will be more efficient with their brushstrokes than others.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And
Deeper
so like
details.
I love Big Pun, right? To me, he's like a hyper realist painter. You know what I mean? That like, they get in and they paint every single detail. They make that shit look like real life, right? A Biggie or like a later Jay-Z, not as many brushstrokes, right? But the efficiency of the brushstroke was masterwork. You know what I mean? Like what one MC would need like 10 brushstrokes to do. A Jay-Z could do it or a Biggie could do it in a 1 or 2 brushstrokes. You know what I mean? It was just the masterwork and the efficiency of what they were able to do with, less words, you know what I mean? Less multi-syllables, you know what I mean? But the impact was still there. The effectiveness was still there. They were able to become more masterful with doing more with less.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's, it's just different styles of artistry.
That's a fact. Shout out to Bailorism.
BTG.
Heavy on the West Coast bias, but sending this bread to the East Coast content. Yo, appreciate you, my guy.
Content goats. Don't leave the goats part out, nigga.
Goats.
Content goats.
Content goats. Yo,
DMX is another
Baylor, man.
Leroy mentioned DMX.
We're not gonna do the DMX. We're not gonna do that, man. We love DMX.
Nah, but it's 2 different styles.
Yeah,
but it's like what Sin was saying about like how you paint the picture. I think Sin unlocked another variable in this conversation about how we talk about rap, like how efficient you are and what kind of paintbrush you use to paint your picture is very important. To me, like I think as internet rap culture has expanded and become what it has become in 2023 now, the oversimplification of what hip hop and rap is and using words, aka lyrics, to decide who the man is just too simple. It's not fair. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more to it than just who makes the best words rhyme in the best way. Because if that's the case, if it's just about words, then the answer is always Eminem, ain't it?
Door hinge orange. It works.
It's not just about lyricism. It's about what you do with your skill set. And I shout out to Nas the Go when he said that from 96 to 03 he had Hov in his top 3. That's unbiased talk. That's what we saying. Like shit. That prime.
That was a heavy run.
So with that being said, we want to talk about some primes. So I know you had threw something in our group chat about prime. Someone threw a tweet out there. Let's get into that.
Yeah, let me dig that up. Shouts to Lone Star Legend on Twitter. He threw up a tweet and it definitely piqued my interest. He said greatest rapper primes, and he lists 5, right? So I guess this is his top 5. The Nasty Nas to Escobar run, right? Which I guess is depending on who you ask, maybe 92 to 97 or maybe 94 to 97. Depending on if you start from
what do you say it is? If
Breaking Adams. I mean, technically, I would make it Illmatic.
Okay.
As the start, right? Rather than the Breaking Adams joint. 97 Hove, which means that's what is that? Just 1 year? That's kind of weird because you give a Nas at least 3 years,
at
right?
Least
2 or 3 years. But he lists 97 Hove as his prime. This shit is hilarious. Vicodin and Eminem, which
tough.
I really feel like coining now, he coined it. I really feel like using that and running with it because Vicodin and Eminem was a different monster. So there's that probably like 99 to 02.
Yeah.
The pre-Carter 3 Wayne. So he's saying not even Carter 3. Everything before Carter 3.
So the mixtapes, Carter 1, Carter 2, I guess.
Yeah. And then this is kind of a wild card, as much as I loved him when he was on this run, but the late 90s Cannabis, which he was filthy with the bars, he was wrecking shit. But you can't even put an album under that run. Like, there's no, cannot bust.
The first one was in the 98?
No, I'm just saying, do we really want to include that as part of his run? That album was a dud. That shit was mid before mid was a word.
True.
You know what I mean?
And it's really only like 98 to like 99.
Everybody else on this list had classics. Cannabis just had verses.
Can we just come out and say that this 5, I like the concept. We're gonna get into our 5, but can we just say this 5 he got is kind of trash?
Pretty trash.
Kind of trash. Outside of Nas,
I'll give it to Viking and Eminem.
Yeah, Nas and M.
Drug Induced Shady was a problem, man.
But also, this says greatest rapper primes. So I guess you get, by that title, I would give it to like the whole package, not just like lyricist or MC work or whatever, you know what I mean? But like as a package. So Cannabis is out of here.
Oh yeah,
number one, because lyrically, he was a savage.
That's what I was saying. This list is kind of trash, bro.
But that's as far as it goes. I don't know. The other 4, I'm not mad at 90. I'm not as mad at 97 Hove as you are, John.
But that's not
96, 97 Hove.
Nah,
that shit. We just talked about it. Like lyrically,
96, 98, then 97.
Lyrically, he was on another level.
But what do we mean when you say greatest? Is it all encompassing or just his skill set?
Right, but that's where it gets murky.
Right,
that's where it gets murky.
If it's just the bars, I
would assume that means at least some accomplishments too. You know what I'm saying? A good
album.
I'm
saying. When I think prime, I think about everything. I'm pulling out what you did when you did it. You know what I'm saying?
It seems like this is leaning more towards the lyrical aspect.
So we do it our way. Fuck this nigga. I'm sorry.
John.
Damn it, man.
Java, he unleashed real Java for a second.
Yeah, I took the mask off for a second. You know what
I mean? Adriel Green with a super chat real quick. You are right, Jar. Big was getting better. Victory was his last verse recorded. That's arguably better than any verse on Life After Death, in my opinion.
Oof. That's kind of tough. We got to sit down.
Tough.
Can I say something? Y'all yelled at
it was a crazy verse, man.
Big was getting nicer because I always go back to the Benjamin's verse, and I'm like, this guy is something else. And I was like, that's one of the greatest verses I ever heard. And y'all was like, nah, no, it's not. And I'm like, I still stand on that to this day. That's one of the greatest verses ever. Because
Kiss Your Ass Goodbye was crazy.
Maybe there's better verbiage, better lyrics on other Biggie verses, but the presence, the pocket work, the picture painting.
I'm telling you,
Big, he was like a superhero on that verse.
Big had the most masterful single brushstroke. Like he could just like paint a whole painting, like 5 brushstrokes.
$250,000 ice
4,
grill. Like 5. Just who says that?
Big had the
cover, Donnie Brasco.
Masterful brushstroke.
That guy, Biggie Smalls, bro.
Adriel Green with another one. Shouts to you again. Nas in his 95 feature run. This is true. This is heavy. More Money, More Murder. Muhammad Side. Fast Life, crazy. Eye for an Eye, crazy. Verbal Intercourse, crazy. Through 96, it was written is the greatest rapper he's ever heard. More polished than he was on Illmatic. More polished, sure.
I love that Adriel Green says that because we kind of tapped around it when we had our Illmatic and It Was Written debate. And I think Deanie and I was like, Nas was better than ever on It Was Written. And I felt like Sin didn't agree with that.
He was raw. But he was raw on Illmatic, and Illmatic just paints, I don't know, Illmatic just paints a different picture.
Fair play. You know I mean? We know Deanie got to get out of here soon. So before we hold him up and get him in trouble, do you have your 5 as far as like greatest proms? Like if you had to pick like what time frame, the 5 that stands out to you the most?
I don't, but I can do this off the top of my head. I know I'll be missing a few people, but I'll take it, man. Damn, primes. I can't really count. Can I count 96 as Big's prime? Can I do that?
Shit.
Is that
I
all right?
mean,
So I would
93,
go
94, 90 to 96.
No,
I'm going with life
94 to
after
96,
death.
97.
Um
94 to 97. Ready to die
to life
to
after
life
death.
after death. Right.
Um,
And all the features he had in between. Yep.
that you can't really disagree with the Nas shit. That shit's immaculate. I would go as far as to go to like 90 was that 93 to like 98 if I could choose a run. Hove. Nas 6 to 03. You can't really, that's undebatable.
Okay.
Shit. Runs. Damn. Can't really count. This is the Mob. Can I count Mob Deep? Even though it's a group?
As a group?
I would say Prodigy.
Okay,
Prodigy
so
had up until HNIC, he was something else.
There we go. So I would have took that to like maybe like the infamous Hell on Earth and
Murder Music.
There we go. And I got one more. Crimes. Fuck, this is tough. You know, I'm gonna be petty and spark a little bullshit.
Okay, talk to me.
Nah, I ain't gonna go there. I was gonna throw Lauryn Hill in there from the
Nah, get the fuck out of here. You can't talk about Lauryn Hill.
I was gonna throw in the Fugees run. That Fugees run is too amazing, bro. I felt like I didn't give a fuck about the one after that everyone loves. Miseducation, but that run was masterful.
That's why you can't talk about Lauryn.
I know. That's my petty pick. But I'll probably go with Ghost, man. Ghost's run from
Thank you. Yes.
Ghost's run from
good one.
Damn, I want to say Iron Man to the Shayla Ghost shit, because that's a long ass run, but I mean Iron Man to give me something, Sin.
Nah, stand on it if that's how you feel.
No, but Iron Man,
that's a long
and then Supreme Clientele. That was the next one. But then there was the Wu-Tang album in between, right? And then the one after that was Pretty Tony album.
Pretty Tony. I will go with Ghost. It just I would have probably went with Ray, but it's just not enough in between.
Yeah, because that Lex Diamond story was not.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But
no, not Lex Diamond story. I'm sorry, Immobilarity. Immobilarity was not. That shit was not
game changer. So that'd be my 5.
All right, that's not bad, Dini. You made it through. You almost didn't make it, but you made it.
It's funny because Dini, you got a jet?
Yeah. I'll listen to yours and I gotta hear y'all.
I was gonna go on a quick tangent because I just saw the trailer for the Wu-Tang series, season 3, the final season is coming out on Hulu, and it focuses on like how the Wu as a collective wasn't really feeling RZA's direction, his artistic direction, his production, and whatever. But the only people that really came out of that Wu-Tang umbrella under RZA was Ghostface and Method Man. And not even really Method Man. Method Man was a star because of his charisma. But like as far as music and album-wise, like stepping away from that RZA umbrella, Ghostface was the only one to really step up and arguably make a better second album than the first album under RZA, right? Yeah. But everybody else, once they left RZA, they faltered for a second. They was like, yo, Raekwon, because there was a scene in the trailer where Raekwon, the character that plays Raekwon, was like, yo, like, you know, like we're not trying to do all of this weird shit that you're trying to do, RZA, or something like that. But I mean, you compare Only Built for Cuban Links with Immobilarity, like Raekwon really should have stayed under RZA's wing for a little longer. It wasn't until Only Built for Cuban Links Part 2 where it really regained. That was like 10 years later.
You gotta think about it too. Like artists, as far as creatively, sometimes they need to step away and challenge themselves because they tend to get into their head and feel like, what's next? How can I? What more can I do? How can I push the envelope? And he probably heard the noise like, oh yeah, I can't do this without RZA. You know how I go. Niggas start talking, yo, you don't need RZA, woo, woo. And he was like, all right, let me go try my luck and see if I can't do it without RZA. You know what I mean? You know how I go.
Yeah.
But you want to give your 5? You want me to give my 5?
Wait, real quick, some super chats before they get lost in the mix. Mad Max, top 5 primes for him. 94 to 96 Nas. And then 01. Wait. and 01. 96 to 01 Hove. Okay. 87 to 92 Rakim. Okay. 2000 to 2004 50.
Okay.
That's,
cool.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then 98 DMX. That is 2 albums in one
That's
year.
98.
So that kind of counts.
Yeah, because the Dark End was in the second shit came out.
Mad Max also said 92 to 94 Snoop right there, but I'm biased.
Wait, where you said that at? I didn't see it.
A little further
there it
down.
goes. Yeah, further down.
Then JB was here. Hove top 5, skill set 9 out of 10, content 6 out of 10, voice 7 out of 10. Respectable. I'm not mad at that. That's a decent breakdown.
Content 6 out of 10.
See.
Adriel Green, I like it.
Adriel Green says Nas in his 95 feature. Oh no, I read that.
We did that already. We got that one already.
Oh, so I had skipped over Mad Max. I didn't see it earlier.
That's why I said let me just read these before you miss it.
Adriel Green said, Sin, if you factor in Silent Murder, Street Dreams remix, do you really think Nas was better in 94 on Illmatic than Esco 95, 96? I'm not saying that Nas was necessarily a better MC overall in terms of the skill set. I'm just saying I prefer Illmatic to It Was Written because Illmatic there's a certain like pureness to it. There's a certain soul to it. There's a certain lens that he was writing through that to me is unmatched. You know what I mean? And not to take anything away from 95, 96 Nas or It Was Written because it's a masterwork in its own right. But you know, Illmatic is Illmatic. There's just a like a lightning in a bottle type of feeling with Illmatic that I get every time that I listen to it. JB was here. Whole top 5, skill set 9 out of 10, content 6 out of 10, voice 7 out of 10. Mad Max, his correction about Snoop.
I read those already.
Okay, cool. All right, my top 5 runs. Nas is absolutely up there, 94 to 90. I'm gonna make it 96 because 97 was the Firm album. I didn't particularly like, and I remember listening to the Firm album. I'm like, lyrically, Nas is not as sharp on this album. I think like somebody's getting in his ear, like, yo, like dumb down your flow a little bit, like Jay-Z ended up doing. So yeah, I'm gonna give that 94 to 96. With Jay-Z, yeah, I'm gonna go. Honestly, I'm gonna go 96 to 98.
Okay.
Good run.
I mean, the blueprint is what it is, but then there's the blueprint 2 on his way to the Black album. If the blueprint 2 would have been a little better, you know what I mean? I would have gone with that. But I'm gonna go J 96 to 98.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, Big has to go up there, 94 to 97. Who else am I putting up there? Honestly, I'm gonna throw Kanye in there. He may be problematic these days, but shit, that run, and that's a long ass run. 2004 to 2010.
So you're going all the way to fantasy.
All the way to fantasy. And I'll fuck it. I'll eat 808s and heartbreaks if I have to.
I love that album. So you talking to the right person.
But that run is crazy to me. And then I'm gonna throw a little underground in there.
No Kendrick?
I'm gonna throw. Oh no, you're right.
I'm just saying.
You're right. No, you're right. I was already. You know what? Thank you for reminding me. I was already.
I wish you had it earlier. I wish you hadn't. you just ruined a beautiful opportunity for niggas down the road, bro. Because he didn't even consider him when he bloviates about his music all the time.
2012 to the present. No,
not even in your considerations.
2012 to the present.
Who was you gonna give it to if I didn't mention it? Who was the person that was using
I wanted to give some light to the underground. I was gonna throw Common in there, but no. Kendrick deserves that.
That B run? As long as you're covering B somewhere in there.
Yo, who is Guana Foundation saying y'all overhyping Kendrick? You must be new here. because
Brand
we don't
spanking.
overhype Kendrick at
I'm
all.
gonna raise my hand. It's
There's
me.
one
It's me,
individual.
God. It's just me.
Mace,
Oh
depending on
my
how
It's
he
literally
feels.
just me. I am the sole voice for Kendrick at this table. And I
Superman on
feel,
Crip.
and look, when y'all feel like I go extra hard for Kendrick, yes, I do, because it's 3 against 1. I have to go extra hard for as good as that man is, for these other 3 at the table to be such haters and detractors. Nah, man, I got to throw my whole weight behind him. Pause.
Right. Hey,
Yo.
That was yikes.
I
Mid better not be that run.
Hey, yo.
I'm not even trying to depart on that.
Yeah, I got my 5 on deck. I'm just letting Sim finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's my 5. Kendrick, shit, the whole
Which run?
2012 till today. Fuck it.
I
The whole
bet.
thing.
Damn it.
So
that means Damn's included. Love it, Sin. Proceed,
Damn's
y'all.
included. It's in there.
I'm gonna start off with Death Row Tupac, Fair is Fair.
Oh,
phenomenal
shit.
run.
Okay. Yeah.
Fair is fair.
That's big deal coming from Job, y'all.
Yeah,
big deal.
Yeah. That's bad business for the rest of us.
I don't think I would have loved if Snoop would have had a strong follow-up after Doggy Style with everything he was doing surrounding Dre's album and his own album. All he needed was one more. He'd have been in there. But to me, the follow album didn't live up after the hype that he had built. It's hard to sometimes. You know what I mean? I agree with Deanie. I agree with the panel. Biggie from 93 to 97, that prime, immaculate. Let's move it up a little bit. As much as I talk a lot of shit about this guy, I've disqualified him. But Aubrey from like 2011 to 2016.
Job, the voice of reason today.
It is what it is. Aubs had a strong run, 2011 to 2016.
Heavy.
I know what Stay Scheming did to niggas. I know what if you're reading this, it's too late did to niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Fair is fair. I'm all about
about
fair at the Rap Roundtable. I'm also, because you know what? It's a boom bappy show, but I'm gonna throw a curveball. I'm gonna embody the spirit of Mace for today, and I'm gonna throw another curveball in there. I'm gonna go with Promethazine champion Future from Dirty Sprite 2 all the way through. I want to say, what is it? What's the name of that album? Evo. All the mixtapes. If you read, what was it? What a Time to Be Alive.
Talking
Evo,
to me right now.
All of that. Future was unstoppable. My car, when you got in my car around that time, all you was hearing was Future. I was speeding, getting speeding tickets, listening to Future, talking my way out of tickets, listening to Future. That run shook shit up, and he's still living off of that run to this day. 4. And of course, I got to round it off with my GOAT. Not nobody else's GOAT. You don't have to agree with Jaws. Just like I said, Kobe is my GOAT. My GOAT is 06 to 2002 Jay-Z. And why I put
9-6.
No, 03?
My fault.
9-6
to 2002. And I say this because I got a lot of bad feelings about what the Black Album represents in my fandom of Jay-Z, because everything changed after that. And I always say, I fought with Sin about him. To me, bar for bar, he was never better than he was in 02. Niggas forget because of what happened with Nas and what Blueprint 2 wasn't as a follow-up. But if you listen to the S. Carter mixtapes, the Rockefeller mixtapes, the radio freestyles around that time, and just the clear lyricism on that album, 96 through 02, that's my prime for Hove. That's my 5. You know what I mean? Some people gonna be mad at the Drake and the Future picks, but we gotta be fair here at the Rap Roundtable. It's not a boom bap podcast. It's a rap podcast, and these guys rap.
Yeah, I think between all of us, we covered some immaculate runs. Chat, if y'all got some great runs, throw them in the comments. We love them. Love to compare them.
But for later too.
We got another super chat in here. Harry Poole says, besides Electric Circus, Comet had a good run. Great features, 1999 Respirations, great production.
Let me speak to that. So yeah, again, I wanted some like sort of more underground representation in my runs, but I mean, Kendrick is what he is. But also, as an honorable mention, at the very least, right? Common, One Day It'll All Make Sense in 97, like Water for Chocolate in 2000. Electric Circus in 2002, which a lot of people don't like, but I love. So, and then right after that, B, the
Beautiful.
most universally acclaimed album of his, probably across the board.
Shout out to Ye.
And then right after that, Finding Forever, which if it hadn't come after B, it probably would have been received as well as B was. But if B was like a 5, Finding Forever was like a 4.5. But if we didn't get B, Finding Forever might have gotten that 5 thought a little bit. But yeah, that Common run, this is why Common, if y'all don't know out there, Common is in my personal top 5. I'm not saying the overall, grandiose, top 5 of all time, under all accounts, but my personal top 5, Common is up there along with Ghostface. Shouts to Dini for showing Ghostface love earlier in his list. But yeah, no, that Common run was crazy, including Electric Circus. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Electric Circus was a fire ass album.
And to be clear, everyone is asking about 50 Cent. When we gave our 5, we're not saying this is a comprehensive 5 and this is the 5 you should agree with. We're giving our personal picks. A lot of times I think we get in trouble as a show when we make certain picks. They think we're saying that this is the definitive. We're saying we're usually just talking from an individual perspective. So we all gave our individual personal 5s that we think had the best primes. If y'all think 50 had a great prime, that's great. He did. He really did. 50, mixtape 50, all the way through the massacre. What a time to be around. You know what I'm saying? So we're not saying that 50 don't belong there. We're just giving our personal picks. That's all. You know what I mean? I think we covered about everything. We're recording. Oh, also, get well soon, Boldy James. We didn't talk about Boldy. The news came out this weekend. And real talk, that was really bad news to hear coming out of the interview on Rap Radar, the Griselda interview and everything, and then that press release came out, and it was like, whoa, time out. You know what I'm saying? So get well soon, Boldy. Like some of the injuries that I read on that press release, it's tough.
Yeah.
I think it must have been like severe whiplash. Things like broken issue, like a vertebrae in his neck or something like that. It's tough. They
posted a picture of him. Yeah, he seems to be good. He got the whole neck brace, but he seems to be up and
surrounded by some good people. West Side Gun was in there, Jalen Rose. So
he's awake, he's cognizant.
He's on that, brother, man.
Shout out Jalen Rose tapping into that space and really knowing what's going on. Shout out to Kevin Durant. I ain't shouting out to LeBron because LeBron only doing it because the cool niggas was doing it. So he wanted to
keep your eye on Bron.
But shout out to everybody. Go ahead, Sen. I'm sorry.
We can't lose no more. We can't lose no more people, man. Like,
especially exceptionally talented ones.
Pulling through,
Boldy's official.
Being tough as nails, coming through that shit. You know what I mean?
Sky Zoo dropped the project. We didn't get to it yet. We're gonna definitely get to it because the streets are definitely talking really nicely about this album. And on episode 63, I see that Mickey Fax is talking about teaching hip hop. We gotta talk about that as a family on 63. Can it be taught? Can rapping be taught?
Because it's not just him. Lupe also.
Well, he's under the wing of Lupe, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Indeed. That's his name.
Yeah, we got to talk about that because I have my thoughts.
Oh, yeah. So everybody keep your eye out for 63. Also, if you haven't tapped into 62, make sure you do so. It's out right now, and we're going to put out some clips from that episode as well so y'all can get it in segments if 2 hours is too long for you to sit through. You know how that goes.
Real quick, I got to address Michael Brown because he added me. It wasn't a super chat, but he added me directly, so I gotta respond to him. He says that I love weirdo, quote unquote, experimental, in parentheses, bad albums like Electric Circus, and Mr.
We've been saying it for years.
He called it Mr. Banal and the Mid-Steppers.
We've been saying it for years.
Sin, what's your take on Yeezy?
Mike was enjoying the show.
First of
Mike,
all,
what up?
First of all. See, that's the problem right there. Like you lost me in like the like 3 or 4 words into your statement because you put experimental as equating to bad, and that's not always the case. Some experimental albums are bad.
Yo,
But some other ones are just, dare I say, over your head. If you're just looking for the straight,
I think the word
clear cut,
eclectic.
cookie cutter, doing what everybody else is doing type of music, you know what I mean? You can do what everybody else is doing and do it better than them, and that makes for good music.
You're gonna accuse them of not liking jazz too?
Mark's DJ said, "Get him, Sin."
Or you could just find your own lane, go in your own direction, try shit that nobody else is doing, and succeed and make good music regardless. But if you're, if your mind ain't open enough to like really, delve into some experimental stuff, some go down some lanes that other people haven't tried yet, then that's on you. I mean, that the way I see it, that's your loss. Electric Circus is a fire album. It is experimental. It's not for everybody.
Right.
I tapped into the wavelength. I also tapped into the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers wavelength. You know what I mean? But to his question, what did I think of Yeezy? We've talked about it, and Jarvis said that at the beginning. I honestly, I'll be completely 100% honest. I really don't remember what my initial take on Yeezy was.
You hated it.
Jarvis,
I will never forget it, bro.
It was like 3 or 4 good records.
I trust you. If you say I hated it, then
there was a couple of good records on it. Had a few.
The thing about Yeezy was that right after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that was such a masterwork that Yeezus just, you know what I mean? It was automatically going to be a disappointment for me, right? But there was definitely a lot of a lot of joints on Yeezy that I fucks with. If I were to throw it on today, yeah, I'll fucks with it. It wasn't really till what was the one after Yeezus?
Pablo,
Life of Pablo. That's when I really started being like, you kind of jumped over the shark, Kanye. You had that song talk about like, bitches waxing their buttholes or some shit like that.
And listen, I just want to say shout out to Will T, shout out to Michael for talking facts. Garrick Huff said Kendrick's last album sucked. Some days it does, Shout out to Garrick. Shout out to everyone who lives on Earth, who doesn't listen to Coffee House rap with their pinky up. Don't let Sin talk down to you. We're here to back you up. We agree with you, okay? Rap round. Go ahead, Deanie.
Sin's response to shit like that is just, if you're just too dumb to get it, just say it.
That's not what I said.
Look,
that's
Deanie,
not what I said.
That's
not what I said.
The dummies are here.
If you're not on the wavelength, that's what I said. Wavelength is not necessarily intelligence. It's just like,
Hey, the dummies are here to back you up. Then can fuck out of here.
Oh shit.
We got you, bro. Deanie, before you end up single by the end of tonight, take us home, bro.
Yo, you know who you rocking with, man. It's the Rap Roundtable. Shout out to Jav, the point guard. Shout out to Sincere, the rap snob. Shout out to Macito, couldn't be here with us tonight, but he gonna cook with us on the next go. I'm Deanie, the balance of the force. And fucking we out of here.